this, because that's what most of you are most familiar with. Nick, I want you to help me out here. So we've got YMXB, and I want us to create, come up with an accounting word for each one of those letters. YMXB.
Well, Y would be total cost.
Y would, and that's good. You're good there, and that is exactly right. Y is total cost. Ooh, I'm gonna save that. Nathan gets to go next. Thank you, though. I thank you for your willingness and your eagerness. Nathan. What is this in algebra? B, what is that? The y-intercept. Do we have the y-intercept labeled up here? Yes, we do. Look. Yes! How about that? Awesome. Fixed costs, right? That's the y-intercept. It's labeled. Here. Carry M and X. Or X. You don't have to do and or. M or X. M is mathematically what? Slope. X is what? The x-axis. X-axis. What is the x-axis? Volume. We're going to leave it as x, but it represents volume. It's the x-axis. Tony, M is the slope. What's the accounting term? Really, variable cost per unit. Variable cost per unit. So when I'm going to try and be careful and differentiate between variable cost and total, VC, and variable cost per unit, VCU. And so that is this in, excuse me, in accounting terms. So let's look at this. Can you solve for that, please? It's funny how many, I always notice this. In fact, I was reminded of this because I have this on film from last semester. This is how cell phones have changed the world. I was looking out at how many people use their thumbs to operate their calculator. When I was a student, we always set the calculator down and punched it with our index finger. But now people will pick it up and use both thumbs because they're used to using both thumbs to text. It's kind of how cell phones have kind of changed the way we use our calculators. So what do you got, Mr. Waller?
I have $125.
$125. Tyler Warren, do you concur? Awesome. $125. Did everybody get that? Did anyone not get that? Because if they didn't, we can go over it, but I don't want to bore you if you've already got it. You already got it? Ma'am, questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts? Is he helping you out? Are you good? You should have, it comes out even.
21,700.
Very good. Now, next page, variable costing income statement format. Did I give this to you last class period? So this is by way of review. TJ, what's the variable costing income statement format? Ha ha! Chop chop. The variable costing income statement format. Revenue.
For year ended.
I want the format.
Okay, revenue for and subtract the whole cost.
Perfect. Equals? CM. And you didn't write it down, did you?
Contribution margin.
Contribution margin, okay. Minus?
For fixed cost.
Fixed costs. Equals?
Operating income.
Operating income. I hope by the end of the semester you can say it just a little bit faster than that. Maybe even by the test, because I bet this could be on the test and you have to have that memorized by then. Okay, now, let me erase the board. I'm going to give you a couple of formulas, and I'm going to show you how to calculate them in total and per unit. Okay? And the variable cost ratio equals variable costs over revenue, and that equals variable cost per unit divided by selling price per unit. Contribution margin ratio equals contribution margin over revenue, and that equals contribution margin per unit over selling price per unit, okay? In case you were wondering, it's the blue one that's really odorous. Now, so far so good? Formula. Mr. Blood, what is the variable cost ratio using these numbers?
It would be 60%.
60%, and he's very good. He did that without a calculator. 60% is the correct answer. Okay. Sadie, what is the variable cost ratio? Contribution margin ratio. My apologies. Contribution margin ratio. It is 40%. Did you use a calculator? Great. Although these two will always, and I mean always, add up to what? 100%. So all you had to do to get the contribution margin ratio is subtract 60% from 100%. Okay, but those are the correct answers for that. Okay, so variable cost ratio, contribution margin ratio. And again, I mean, you do have to memorize all this stuff.